Welcome to Hello English Teacher. Today let's look at the poetic devices used in the poetry of Class 12 English. The first poem is My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. Let's look at the poetic devices used in this poem. So the first one is a simile. Simile is a poetic device that is used to compare two things. So you can easily identify simile by the words like as, like, or such as. So let's look at the examples. As a late winter's moon. So this is a simile because the mother's pale and wan face is compared to the winter moon, which symbolizes the old age and dimming vitality. Next one is as a corpse. So the poet is comparing her sleeping face to the corpse, like a dead body, which also emphasizes that she is having a lifeless appearance. The next one is imagery. Imagery means vivid descriptions which help to create a strong mental picture. Now, trees printing, merry children spilling, all these are imagery. This visual contrasts to the mother's aging with the vibrancy of life outside the car. The next poetic device is personification, which gives human like qualities to non living things. And the example is trees sprinting. It looks like the trees are sprinting, means running. The moving trees are personified, creating an illusion and symbolizing the fleeting nature of time, or how time passes quickly. So the next poetic device used is contrast, means opposite features. Okay, here the poet contrasts the old age of the mother with the youth and vitality of the children outside. Vitality means energetic nature. The mother's aged, lifeless face is contrasted with the energetic children playing outside. So that is the contrast used here. The next one is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of consonant sounds, okay, for a poetic effect. So here, smile, smile, and smile. So here the s sound is repeated. Now this poetic device, it's not only alliteration, it also comes under repetition because the word itself is repeated. So it is alliteration and repetition. So the next example is repetition. And as I told you, since a word is repeated more than one time, so the poetic device is repetition. Here the word smile is repeated. Smile, smile, and smile. Okay. So the next poetic device is called enjambment. Enjambment means when you feel that the whole poem is written in a continuous line without any full stop or all that. There's a flow of idea. So it is called an enjambment. So the line continues without punctuation, reflecting the poet's continuous train of emotions. So it is an enjambment. So let's look at the next poem, Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda. So in this you can see an example of alliteration where there is repeated consonant sound in the line. We would be all together in a sudden strangeness. So we would, the verse sound is repeated, and in sudden strangeness this sound is repeated. So that is an alliteration. So the next one is imagery. That means vivid images being formed in the mind. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. Wars with gas, wars with fire, etc. All these are imagery. And next is personification. So here you can see the line, earth can teach us. So the earth is personified as a teacher and is teaching us something. So it is personification. Next is symbolism. So objects or actions representing deeper meanings. So count to 12 symbolizes universal pause, unity, meditation, etc. And keeping quiet means stands for introspection, peace, and self realization. So, these are all examples of symbolism. So, the next is enjambment. Here, also in the poem, you can see that there is a continuous flow of thoughts. So, it's an example of enjambment. And next one is repetition when words are repeated. So, without rush, without engines. The word without is repeated, so it's an example of repetition. So let's look at the next poetry, A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. So in this you can see examples of imagery, that means vivid descriptions that appeal to your senses. Examples are simple sheep, where visual imagery depicting innocence and peace, and such as daffodils with green world they live in describes the beauty of nature. And then another example of metaphor. Metaphor is also a poetic device used for comparing two different objects. Okay. Uh, a bower quiet for us. So beauty is compared to a beautiful shelter that provides comfort. So bower is a shady spot. Okay, so that's a metaphor. An endless fountain of immortal drink. Beauty is compared to eternal source of joy and inspiration. So the endless fountain is the source that gives us endless joy. So that is also a metaphor. So the next poetic device is personification. Examples are a flowery band to bind us to the earth, which means that the flowery band is connecting us to the earth. So it is personified here. And next one is the mid-forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose. That means the forest, mid-forest brake means, the bushes that are found in the forest are full of sweet smelling flowers. So nature is given a lively and abundant quality. Okay. So next one is symbolism, and a flowery band symbolizes connection between humans and nature. Endless fountain symbolizes the eternal nature of beauty. So next is enjambment. Here also you can see the flow of ideas continuously without any full stop and all that. So this can also be seen as an example of enjambment. And contrast, the poet contrasts suffering with joy of beauty. So I hope you liked today's video. For more informative and interesting videos, subscribe to Hello English Teacher. Thank you for watching.